Hawks lose 4-1 in Vancouver to the Canucks. The fifth consecutive game they've failed to score more than one regulation goal. But hey, Ilya Mikheyev got on the board. We'll talk about it next on the CHGO Blackhawks postgame show. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks postgame show. I'm Jay Zawoski with Greg Boyson and Mario Tirabassi. Nate's here running the show. Hawks lose 4-1 in Vancouver to the Canucks. If you're just joining us for the postgame because you weren't able to see the actual game, two empty netters at the end of the game for Vancouver. So a closer game than the score would indicate, but a frustrating game nonetheless. As I said in the short open, there is the fifth consecutive game where the Hawks have been held to one regulation goal. The only exception is the 2-1 overtime win against the Wild. This team is having a lot of trouble scoring. The people they're counting on to score are not scoring or producing much of anything. And the frustrating thing is it's kind of hard to see a way out of this at this point.
The only way out of it is to score. Score on the opportunities you're getting. And I don't know if it's shooting the puck differently. There were a lot of shots that for a guy with an .808 save percentage this season, a lot of them were going directly into his chest and his gut. I know the last game we were saying, stop missing the net. And now it's stop shooting it directly into the middle of the goalie. I think you have to get, especially tonight, Shilov's saves, a lot of them were bouncing off of him. Like, there were rebounds to be had. I think when you get something like that, we saw it late in the third period. A couple pad saves that he made were iffy. Like, he was like the one he made a five-hole save, and he was scrambling, checking, like make sure the puck is in there actually. So it's something like you got to pick up on that earlier when a goalie is kind of scrambly when they're saving the puck. Get it off their pads, shoot low, make them move, make them think about it, and get there for rebounds. I mean, it's the same thing we say every game. You got it when goal scoring dries up, as it has for this team pretty much all season. You have to score goals ugly, and you have to fight for every opportunity you're going to get. And they just don't have the guys that either want to or have the ability to go play that way. So if you're going to keep shooting from the outside and not get rebound attempt or opportunities, not get screens, not get traffic, you're going to have this inept offense. It's just what you're going to have.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the overall numbers of this game, this wasn't like Thursday in Seattle where you were just like, team played with no heart.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case
tonight. Effort was there for the most part.
You look at the first period and the third period, 5-on-5 shot attempts were even. It was that second period where the Canucks had 27 shot attempts to 10 for the Hawks, but you were tied coming out of that period. High danger scoring chances, Canucks had 9, Blackhawks had 8. Blackhawks actually had one more scoring chance than the Canucks tonight, 22-21. You're just getting no finish. You got nobody on this team right now that could score. When Connor Bedard's goals dry up, this offense dries up. It's been a problem all season. I don't know what the answer is. You got the goal from Mikheyev early because it was a nice play by Bedard or by Foligno.
Yeah.
Drove the net, and Mikheyev was there to go in the rebound. The exact type of goal you need to be scored, but then you didn't see a whole lot of that the rest of the night. I mean, they did get some nice chances there, but it goes just wide, or the goalie gets his pad on it. Where the Hawks, 2 goals off of the skate of Connor Murphy. So when it's not going your way, you don't get those breaks.
I mean,
you've got to make your own breaks. I don't know what the answer is, but this team needs offense. And you've got a guy in Rockford, in Frank Nazar, who's lighting up the AHL.
I mean, 3 hours ago, I would have been against it, but you got to do something.
That second line
or make a trade.
No chance to score. That second line has no chance to score. Let Frank Nazar come up, and if it doesn't work, then you can send him right back down and let him cook in the AHL again. Give him a shot.
How about make a meaningful trade too? It's fine.
Who's tradable on this team? Who's?
You've got nothing but draft assets. You've got nothing but highly rated, highly respected prospects.
It's tough.
They have everything they need to make any sort of trade they want to make.
I'm not making a trade like that for this team. It's not worth it.
And those trades are so hard to make this time of year because look at the standings. There's 8 points separating the top to the bottom. Everybody still thinks they have a shot here. But all season I've been no, Nazar's going to stay down there. Let him, but he looks great down there. He give this team a little bit of life, a little bit of energy. If not him, Colton Dock. Colton Dock's the type of player that scores the exact type of goals you need. Go to the front of the net. Go to the dirty areas. Got to do something. Because rolling out these same guys every night is just not working. Okay, you scratch Taylor Hall. Okay, maybe that puts a little jump in his step next game. Tyler Pertuzzi's been awful the last handful of games.
Yeah, he was real bad tonight.
Philip Kurashev has been a freaking ghost all season long.
Nowhere near what he was last season.
These guys are not playing with any kind of confidence right now. They're all just in their own heads. And, the only guy out there that seems to just go out, does his business night in, night out is Ryan Donato. And Ryan Donato is a fine hockey player. But Ryan Donato should not be your best hockey player.
He cannot be your most reliable forward. There's no way. All right, do us a favor. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe as well. If you're listening on the podcast in the morning, thank you. Make sure you are following and subscribed on your favorite app. And if you want to, it'd be helpful if you left us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We've got our 4-star nominees ready to go to the 3 stars of the game. Arvid Soderblom, top 29 of 31 Canucks shots. Artur Silovs stopped 28 of 29 Blackhawks shots. And Elias Pettersson with a goal and was a +2. So your 4-star candidates, Lucas Reichel, 3 shots on goal, leading that fourth line that was the most effective Blackhawks line. Ilya Mikheyev with a goal and 2 shots, and Nick Foligno with an assist and 3 shots. So get your votes in. We'll reveal those winners at the end of the show.
And how many times have we said that tonight or this season? Fourth line was our best line. That can't happen every night either.
No, it can't.
It really can't. Somebody who's getting paid to score goals needs to score an effing goal.
Here's a note from Scott Powers, by the way, as we're avoiding the topic. This is probably the worst 4-game stretch of Connor Bedard's young NHL career. He has 0 goals, 1 assist, 12 shot attempts, and 4 shots on net over the last 4 games. In 5v5, opponents have had a 78-33 advantage in attempts, 33-16 in shots on goal, 34-11 in scoring chances, and 4-1 in goals with him on the ice. He is scuffling, man. Connor Bedard is scuffling. It feels like everything he tries doesn't work. He had a horrible turnover in the defensive zone. The first empty net goal, JT Miller's, he's trying to dump it in with the empty net and just whiffs on the puck. And JT Miller's like, thank you very much. I will put this in the net, and this game's over. I'm not blaming Connor Bedard, but he is in his head, and we talked about it last game. This is the first time in his life he has struggled at hockey. And how is he going to pull himself out of it? That's something to keep an eye on. I'm not worried about his future. I still think he's going to be a great player. It's just, this is the first time he's ever dealt with something like this. And aside from, banking one off someone's butt into the net next game and getting a 3-point night to kind of shake it off, he's not been effective. And we say all the time, it's when the opportunities start drying up that you start to worry, and they have absolutely dried up, as just made example by Scott Powers.
Yeah, I mean, it's a symptom of this whole team, really, up and down the lineup. Guys are trying to do too much to dig themselves out of this funk, and I think you hear it from coaches, you hear it from players all the time. The way out of these slumps is to just simplify everything, and that goes from Pat Maroon and Craig Smith to Teuvo Teravainen and Connor Bedard. Like, you have to simplify your game and get back to getting the small details right, getting the basics down right, connecting passes, sustaining some offensive possession and zone time. And I ultimately, again, it just comes down to capitalizing on the opportunities you get. But I think it's just, you can't, this team doesn't have the vibe and momentum of stringing together really good performances to kind of feel like, yeah, we can attempt these no look drop passes, and we can get some, east-west transition game plan. Like, you have to keep it simple to build some of that momentum so that you can get those, those fancier plays to connect. We saw Connor Murphy tonight, make a really good pinch to keep a puck in the offensive zone and keep possession, and he dropped past it to the defenseman that should have been there, who was Connor Murphy. And I was just like, man, like, what is going through your brain there? Like, it's frustrating. It feels like this team thinks it can play this special brand of hockey, and it just can't. And I think I think it's truly hard for some of these more skilled players like Connor Bedard to unravel their mentality of, like, I'm going to try and, toe drag and backhand pass and, like, cross ice feeds.
Toe drag a dump in, though.
Yeah, like, I think it's hard to unravel that and get them to say, like, play a $2 steak and potatoes game and build from there.
Tell me more about this $2 steak and potatoes.
Well, you start with the $2 steak and potatoes.
You've got my attention. Where's that?
And then you can upgrade to maybe a $6 steak and potatoes, and then eventually it's a nice fillet and some.
No, I understand your analogy. I literally want to know where I can get a $2 steak. Fremont Street in Vegas 20 years ago.
We used to be sponsored by Circle K. Maybe they have some on the roller grills.
Ooh, a rolling steak.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, everybody, this is a very frustrating game, and it's been a frustrating run. I will say, I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything, but they've had 3 West Coast trips already, like 18 games into the season. Like, that's a little bit crazy, and it's hard to get a rhythm. As Luke said, they haven't really had the opportunity to practice as much as they would like, which is part of it. But at the same time, like you're saying, Mario, just simplify. I don't remember who said it in the chat, but it's right. Connor Bedard is trying to toe drag a dump in. Just put the puck in the zone. It doesn't have to be dazzling all the time. And I know his entire hockey career has been dazzling.
Yeah.
Dazzling. He's
been a highlight reel everywhere.
But it's just not the way it's played. And when we come back, Darren Pang made a really nice reference, another Wayne Gretzky reference, two games in a row. So before we hit the break zone, do us a favor, smash that like button for us and make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube page as well. We got to do, we'll tell you the 4-star winner. We got the Who's Your Hawk winner. That was inspired today. Who's Your Hawk? Woohoo! Boy, can we pick them.
I mean, yeah. There wasn't really anybody that was going to be a high point getter tonight anyway. So
no. All right, we'll be back with more in a moment on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast. But first, we want to tell you about our friends at Family Farms. Their culinary journey is woven with passion, dedication, and commitment to crafting their finest bacon-wrapped chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Bacon-wrapped chicken. A timeless delicacy that has tantalized taste buds since 1974, and now the tradition continues. You can find Family Farms bacon-wrapped chicken even easier. Look for them in the meat department at your local Woodman's, Mariano's, or Burkott's. Craving a taste of home without leaving yours? Check out baconwrappedchicken.com or click the link for our Amazon store, which also includes the legendary Rocky Rococo's Italian sausage.
Hey.
And to find out when their new amazing Cajun Nation flavors will become available with an authentic Louisiana bite. Experience the flavor that's become a family favorite for generations. Visit your nearest Woodman's, Mariano's, Burkott's, or on Amazon, baconwrappedchicken.com.
No $2 steaks there.
And the Black Friday sales event is going on all month long at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. And that means you can score huge Black Friday savings on your next vehicle the entire month of November, not just one day. But don't let these deals pass you up. Stop in today to browse their huge inventory of new vehicles. And right now, shop savings like 0% financing available on all 2024 Jeep models, or shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. Let the amazing team at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram help you during each step of your car shopping journey. At Ray's Price Promise, the numbers you're hearing now are the same exact prices you're going to see when you shop in store or online. That's because Ray's Price Promise means no price changing, no add-ons, and zero hidden fees. Since they prioritize affordability for their customers, hurry in the Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram today and shop one of Chicago's largest inventories. Then drive home with more money in your pocket than you expect. So if you're in the market for a new vehicle, then you have to check out the team at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and
Ram.
Because they're the only team we recommend. Visit them today on Route 12 in Fox Lake. For more information, visit raycdjr.com. Serving the community since 1963, the same year the Blackhawks scored 2 goals in regulation.
More than 1 goal.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Good times.
Bunch of people in the chat not understanding the 4-star contest. If they're one of the 3 stars, folks, they can't be a 4th star. That's the point. Arvid Soderblom was the 3rd star of the game, therefore is not a nominee for 4-star. That's how the game works.
Yeah, if you're new, that's how it works.
Yes.
If you're not new, pay attention.
Shame on you.
I should have written this reference down, this Wayne Gretzky reference that
it was
Darren Pang made, but one of his coaches, when Wayne was going through a slump, or he only probably had 10
wasn't
goals
putting
that
up
week.
3 points per game.
We only had 2 goals.
He said, just make a good play. Just have a good play. And
no, he said the paraphrasing was, I don't need you to make a good play on every shift. I need you to make one good play a night.
One good play. Yes, make one good play. And it said it sort of refocused Gretzky into, instead of trying to win the entire game every moment, he just focused on doing the little things correct. And when he started doing the little things correctly, the big things started happening for him. So something that Connor can lean on. Like, look, it's a big adjustment. There's a lot of pressure, a lot of spotlight on him, and no one's putting more pressure on Connor Bedard than Connor Bedard, and you can see it. You can see the weight of the world on him every time he handles the puck. He is thinking, he is overthinking, he is triple overthinking, and just the very, very simple is eluding him. We have seen what he can do. We saw it last year. We saw the way Connor Bedard has the ability to take over a game. Right now, he is way in his head. And I really think it's just going to take a little bit of puck luck for him to get out of this, but it's been a long time coming. Also noteworthy, by the way, Bedard was 0 for 8 from the faceoff dot today. This may have been his worst game as a pro.
This has been a really rough stretch. It's been hard. And, with the idea that no one's above sitting and watching the game from a bird's eye view, I don't think you're scratching Connor Bedard, but if he's overthinking, overplaying, getting frustrated, becoming less and less effective with each passing game, I mean, if you blind resumed it, you'd say, yeah, this might be someone that sits. you're not you're not at a point where you're sitting Connor Bedard to like he's a guy that you're like try and play yourself out of it. You have the ability to do that. But man, it's been tough. It's been tough for him. So I don't know. I think we've seen other young players around the league sit a night or two. I'm not advocating for it, and I don't think it's going to happen. But I don't think it's a 0% chance that is a thought that has gone through Luke Richardson's head.
No, and all the people that are saying, "Oh, bench Connor Bedard," if he actually does it, they'd be the first people screaming, "What the hell is Luke Richardson doing?" Yeah, he's struggling. He's been bad the last handful of games, but he's still your best offensive player.
Yeah.
There's no look at the correlation. The goals dry up, the chances dry up for Bedard, and the Hawks can't score more than one goal a game. Those are linked for a reason.
Maybe pull him out of the middle. Put him on the wing.
That I'm fine with.
Put him on with
just take some responsibility
Dickinson.
away.
You know, move Dickinson up to the top. Like if we want to get weird with the Lions, like screw it. What's it matter at this point? This team's not contending for anything. Put Bedard with Dickinson and Foligno or something like that. Like I give him a little bit of less to think about in a game, and just focus on getting the small details right. Don't worry about having to be a 200-foot player and take a bunch of faceoffs. Like, just worry about a lesser role defensively and more offensive, and play him with guys that force him to play simple. I don't know. It's you have to get him going, because as he goes, this team goes.
Yeah, I'm fine taking him out of the middle. I mean, he can't win faceoffs, and he needs to go back to playing instinctual hockey. Use the instincts that made you the number one pick of the draft. Use the instincts on the ice that got multiple teams to sacrifice an entire season to try and get you.
Yeah.
I know, the same fancy plays you used in juniors is not working at the NHL level, but just be instinctual. Be just, if you get the urge to shoot. Stop thinking. You could see him thinking on the ice, and it slows everything down. A thinking hockey player is a slow hockey player. There's not enough time to compute that. So just go out there, turn your brain off, and play hockey.
That's all he knows.
Yeah,
that's what we talk about with him all the time.
But he doesn't know this. He's never experienced this.
Yeah.
A stretch of games where he is not only not producing, but he's hurting his team. He has never been a player in his career until the past 4 games where he has been hurting his team. That's got to be tough. That's got to be tough to fail for the first time at what you have spent your whole life doing. That can't be easy.
No.
But the only way to do it is to play through it and get that goal, and then go, okay, that's how I do it. I remember how to do that. I don't know when that goal is going to come. Like that line, he just hasn't been that same effective player, and it's very concerning right now. So I don't know if you get a spark, play him on the wing, put Frank Nazar at center Tuesday night, and play him on the wing.
I'll try anything.
Bring up Colton Dock and let him crash the net. Something has got to do so, because this roster right now is not cutting it. It's not. There's not enough dynamic players on this team, and you can't. Even if there was, you can't have Connor Bedard do it all every night. No team can rely on that. No team can rely on that. And even if you have Connor McDavid can't do it all. He has Leon Draisaitl there to help.
Yeah.
He has a roster that has a bottom 6 that can actually score a goal. You can't let him keep trying to do it all himself. Somebody else has to step up here and provide some offense.
Yeah. And you look at the guys who you were counting on to step up offensively, right? Like, you brought in Teuvo Teravainen. He had 2 shots on goal and 1 shot attempt. He was a -1. You were hoping for more offense from Jason Dickinson this year. I know he's been primarily checking, and he's doing a fine job at that. The Hawks team defense has been good.
Yeah.
They don't give up a ton of shots usually, especially lately. They don't give up a lot of high-quality chances, but this team just can't score. You bring in Tyler Bertuzzi today. Tyler Bertuzzi with the old last year's Lucas Reichel. 0. No shot. Oh, I'm sorry. Had 1 missed shot early in the game. He got a great pass and just shot it right over I think Bedard actually set him up on that one.
Yeah.
And he just airmailed it over the net. These guys you brought in to help offensively, they're not cutting it. And I don't think it's any coincidence that Connor Bedard's good start was, parallel to Teuvo Teravainen's good start. Because you had 2 guys on one line that were creating offense and putting the puck in the net.
They were clicking. He
can't. Look, all respect to Ryan Donato, like we said. He's been playing over his skis this year. That's going to stop. The shooting percentage is insane. He's not going to keep that pace up. Philip Kurashev has done nothing, and those are Connor Bedard's line mates. Philip Kurashev, -2. No shots, no block shots, no missed shots, no hits.
He's
no takeaways and 1 block shot, which tells me a puck hit him.
Philip Kurashev and Lucas Reichel have swapped bodies.
They really have. Yeah,
Freaky
like
Friday,
Kurashev is an absolute ghost.
He's doing nothing.
Man, I can't explain that one. He started off the first couple games of the year, looked pretty good. Him and Taylor Hall both kind of looked like they had something working together, and then by the time they got home from that 4-game road trip, it was not great.
Yeah.
And he just seems like it seems like he doesn't know what his role on this team is again. And that was his problem his first couple of years ago when he was up and down the lineup, center, wing, Rockford, Chicago, didn't know what his role was. Last year he knew what his role was.
Yeah.
You're Connor Bedard's winger. And he excelled. Now he's back to top line, second line, third line, scratch, second line, center, wing, center.
Yep.
It's not an excuse. Go out and play hockey, but yeah, he definitely needs something more, or that's a guy that RFA at the end of the year, but last year his contract, you got to see something here, or maybe the team's like, well, you know what? We got Frank Nazar up here next year. We're good.
Yeah. Can you go up a little bit, Nate? I just saw a comment I wanted to read. Paul says, Bertuzzi's been awful. Can't skate at all. I know that's not his game, but man, got to have speed on a team. And Maroon and Bertuzzi are slower than molasses. See, the thing with those two is their value comes with puck possession.
Yeah.
Right? If you never have the puck in the offensive zone and you don't control for shifts at a time, Bertuzzi and Maroon are not guys that are going to create off the rush. They've never been. They're guys that cause havoc in front. They can score in close to the net and piss off the goalie and cause frustration. But when you don't have the puck ever and you're just basically chasing your own turnovers all night, those guys don't have a lot of value. Mm-hmm. They don't. Like it's
right.
When this team gets better next year, maybe when Nazar's here, maybe they sign a free agent. Bedard's a year older, and like the offense starts to come a little bit. Then Bertuzzi's going to show a lot more value because they'll possess the damn puck. Mm-hmm. They don't do that right now. They don't possess the puck at all. So there's not even an opportunity for Bertuzzi to go plant himself in front of the net because they're already heading the other way. The Hawks get the puck in the zone. They make one extra pass almost always, and that extra pass goes, as Connor Murphy passed it to himself when he wasn't there, and it's the other way. They never, ever get a chance to set up, cycle, and generate offense. It just never happens.
They don't have the puck possession, and they're a team that can only score on the rush, except they can't score on the rush.
Right.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's not a good strategy.
All right, we got to hit the break zone one more time. We have over 200 people watching right now at 12:15 in the morning. We appreciate that, but only a middling 76 likes. We need a lot more likes than that. Please do us a favor. Hit that like button, please. I would really, really appreciate that. We all would really, really appreciate that. And, of course, while you're right there, you might as well hover over that subscribe button as well. Back with a whole bunch more right here on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast. And we're sponsored by Chicago Sports Network, the new home of the Blackhawks, Bulls, and White Sox games. CHSN will broadcast more than 300 live games per year across the Hawks, Bulls, and Sox, and will feature a full lineup of original Chicago-focused sports content. They're also Chicago-based, Chicago-built, and Chicago to the core, and they'll bring it to every corner of Chicago across their 77 neighborhoods and beyond. They launched their standalone app today, so hopefully a few more folks got to see that game. At CHSN, Chicago comes first. Visit chsn.com for more info on how to watch the Bulls, Hawks, and Sox all season long.
And if you want to go and watch those teams in person rather than on your TV, you can do it through our friends at Game Time. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. And the good thing about Game Time Picks is that it's not just for sporting events. You can do it for all of your favorite events, whether it's concerts, theater shows, comedy shows, whatever it is, sports too. Game Time Picks helps you curate that search and find the best deals to get your butt in a seat. Great thing about Game Time as well is they're all in pricing. That's a feature that shows you the total up front, so when you get to checkout, you're not surprised by any hidden fees or anything like that. You're never going to get hit with that. With Game Time, the price you see is the price you pay. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code CHGO, and you're going to get $20 off of your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code CHGO for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it?
Game time.
Of course. It's always
12,
Game
17.
Time. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Lots of people in the chat asking who Bedard's line mate should be, including Chi-Town. They've tried pretty much everything. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm kind of ready to just go back to Tavo.
Foligno, Teravainen, and Bedard was...
It's worked. It's the only thing that's really worked.
It was working. Yeah. That's what I would go back to at this point. And if we're, like I said, if you want to try and really change things up, put them with Dickinson and Foligno. Like it's Dickinson. Anyone that plays with him gets going at some point.
Seems like it.
And it was the same case last year. So try it. What do you have to lose?
Nothing. And I wonder if he would do... I think he might benefit from some consistency too. And I know he, more than anybody, sort of poo-pooed the whole concept this week when Phil Thompson asked him about constant line changes. Said, "Yeah, you guys have been asking me this for 10 days. It doesn't really matter. We're just playing hockey." Well, apparently it does matter because...
Yeah, it does matter. This team's not good enough to just throw 18 guys out there randomly and say, yeah, we're going to have a good effort. We're going to have a good chemistry, and it's going to work out. Like, you got to figure out what works. And I don't know. We're this far into the season, made changes everywhere. You can't play 82 games with 82 different lineups. You got to find some consistency. So it's got to eventually come together. You've only seen it in short stints because something's worked, and then it didn't work, then it gets changed. Then it works, and it doesn't work, then it gets changed. So I don't know. You got to let some of these things breathe for a little bit.
I wouldn't hate Dickinson and Bedard together. You put Bedard on the wing. I don't know if that's going to happen because then Dickinson's relied so much to be the shutdown line. And when you're not scoring goals, I don't know if you're willing to sacrifice that defense. You can put Connor Bedard out there on defensive zone shifts because he's playing with Jason Dickinson. That kind of defeats that purpose. Or you put Jason Dickinson in offensive zone shifts, and who takes those tough third period down a goal tie game shifts? It's a tough situation to put your best defensive center with your best offensive player who is not great defensively at this point of his career. So
you change up the responsibilities.
I mean, but this team can't. I don't know if he's willing to sacrifice Jason Dickinson's defense because it's so key. There's so many.
I mean, you're scoring one goal. You got to prevent as many as you can.
Only giving up 2 goals when you're scoring 1.
Yeah,
that's not working. So I'd at least like an opportunity to score more than 1 if it comes at the expense.
And you score 2 goals, but then you're giving up 4 instead of 2. Like it's a. I don't hate the idea. I just don't know if they're going to do that.
It doesn't seem like something Luke would try.
I think they would have done it by now.
Yeah, look, I'm down for anything, but when he has looked his best, he has played with Teuvo and Foligno. And I know this is not all about getting Connor Bedard going, but as you said, the team goes as Connor Bedard goes.
It's also not helping that there's okay, great. We put Foligno and Teuvo with Bedard, let them go for 5-6 games in a row, see how that works. May work, may not. It doesn't help when the other 3 lines are doing jack squat too. Like the Bedard struggles wouldn't seem as dire as they do now if anybody else on this team besides Ryan Donato was playing good offense.
You're right. I mean, but you also, the 4th line plays well, but they don't score. Like that. They have nice shifts, and Reichel gets a couple nice chances every night, but they're not really going into the net. That's the thing. You're just kind of. We can just hit the shuffle button like on your Spotify and just see what comes up with the lines, and I feel like at this point some consistency would be beneficial for everybody because how many times did Darren Pang say it tonight? Well, not communicating well, right? Like, he thought he was going here and he was going here. When you have so many new faces on your team, what we say was 9 new players this year on your roster, something like that.
Yeah,
adding Allen and Kaiser and whatever. Like
basically,
these guys have not played with each other very often.
Yeah,
and Alec Martinez just kind of back in the lineup too.
We're almost a quarter of the way through this season already. How long can we say that? At some point,
you're right, but they're not playing together. And the one line of new faces that has played together consistently, Reichel, Maroon, and Smith, gets better every night.
Right.
So there is some evidence that keeping guys together for a while works. So I don't know. I think the priority right now is you need to find a way to get Bedard going. You have to find a way. And the ghost of Philip Kurashev is not helping anything. It was not an effective line tonight. It just wasn't. And I don't know. I think everybody on this team would benefit from some consistency, and they're not going to say it. They're not going to come out and say we need to be with the same line mates all the time. That's just not how hockey players work. But when you're seeing passes to no one, misreads, miscommunications, passes just off the tape, that is a lack of talent, a lack of overall talent. But you can't tell me that this team is playing up to its skill level.
No,
absolutely not. Absolutely not. So there's two things that it is then. When you see a team not playing up to their potential, it is chemistry and it is coaching. And both those things need to be considered because, look, I'll be honest, like we have made excuses for Luke Richardson a lot. And again, like the system makes sense and the line changes he makes make sense. And the things he says about his strategy and decisions, fine. They're all logical. But at the end of the day, this team has regressed. Aside from Alex Vlasic and Lucas Reichel and Arvid Soderblom, who on this team is playing better than they did last year?
Here's a quote from Ben Pope by Luke Richardson on Connor Bedard. For him, it's the same as everybody. When we have a chance, we shouldn't be looking for another pass. We should be looking for a shot.
Yep.
I mean, as we talked in the pregame show, that Luke usually doesn't get super critical, but that's about as critical as he's ever been of Connor Bedard. And this is more about the everybody talking about the system And about adjustments to that, Ben Pope asked him, and this is Luke's reply. There's not really much we can do. We can't start seaming passes. I don't think we have the guys that are the strong JT Millers of the world. With our group makeup right now, we have to play straight on and slash and support. Everybody can do that. We had some more sustained ozone time tonight. If we continue to do that, I think we'll get better at burying those chances.
That is Luke subtly saying I don't have the horses right now.
That's kind of a little shade thrown towards to Kyle Davidson, saying, "Hey, I wish I could do all that fancy stuff, but I got remedial roster here."
It's the same thing that he continually says and has said all season. I think it's different variations of saying the same thing of we just have to get to the net and play simple. Yeah, if he's putting a little stink on it now, it's probably because I'm sure as a coach, when you're preaching the same message and it's not coming through or it's not executing or it's the guys are doing what you're saying, but no one can finish a play or connect a pass or anything like that, I'm sure it gets extremely frustrating. It's extremely frustrating for us to talk about it after every game too. So yeah, I agree with him. I don't really know exactly what you change. You've done the lineup changes. You've tried everything in pretty much everything in that route. There's no X's and O's difference that really can make this team any different, any better. I think if there was, that would have already been explored. But you have to get the simplified game down to be able to move forward. And they're spinning their wheels with this concept. So I agree. I don't really know what can be done differently other than getting the puck in the net.
Well, might be time to bring someone up from Rockford. I know that the Ice Hogs are down there to develop, but then you bring up one of the older pros. You bring up the Colton Dock. You bring up a Landon Slaggert. Those guys play simple hockey. Those guys play the exact type of hockey that Luke Richardson wants to play. So put him out there. Call him up.
I'll tell you one thing. Landon Slaggert is not going to be a guy who comes up here and coasts. And is not going to be a guy who's going to be satisfied with, just kind of going through the motions. And look, again, I don't think effort was the problem tonight. I really don't. But some intensity, some speed. I will say Landon Slaggert's not going to fix your offensive problems.
No, but neither is Colton Dock per se. These aren't superstars waiting in the wings, but they're guys that will go out and play the type of hockey Luke Richardson is screaming at these guys to play. Okay, you don't want to play the way I say. This kid will. You can watch. You got to shake something up because the 22 guys you got on the roster right now is not cutting it.
Look, the way Nazar has played, I have no problem calling him up. And I think that he's the kind of kid that has the confidence to come up here and be like, I can come and help. And I don't think he's going to feel the pressure to come up and be the savior. But I feel like Frank Nazar is the kind of guy whose attitude is, yeah, I can come up here and help out. I can come up here and add some offense. I'm good enough to do that. And I think you talk to him, Kyle Davidson or Luke Richardson talks to him and says, look, we need you to play a straight ahead game. We need you to create some offense for us. You're not going to be here for long. We're doing this to try to get things fixed short term. Go do your thing, man. Go do the things that you did in the 3 games you were here last year. Be yourself, play with confidence, and then it'll be back to Rockford for you. But you're the first guy we're calling because we need offense. And I think we'll take that opportunity and run with it. And I don't think going back to Rockford for him after 3, 4, 5 games, whatever it might be, is going to be detrimental to him at all, especially if he understands the assignment. That's a kid whose confidence can handle it.
Frank Nazar leads the Rockford Ice Hogs. This is in 11 games. Leads them with 5 goals. He's the team leader with 8 assists, team leader with 13 points, and the team leader with 31 shots on goal. He's got a power play goal, 2 shorthanded goals.
That's 2 more than the Blackhawks have.
Over a point per game. Why not? Even if he knows ahead of time it's short term, put him out there. He's not going to make he's not going to make the offense worse. That I can guarantee.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if he's going to make it better and save the season, but he's not going to make it worse.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't know if that is where Kyle Davidson's head is going. I think that he's pretty steadfast in the idea of keeping that young group in Rockford together. And I don't think I wouldn't think he's interested in bringing up a Frank Nazar and saying, here, be a Band-Aid on this for 5 games or something like that, and then go back down to Rockford. I feel like the plan is gonna be to keep those guys down there and let them have the opportunity to play important minutes and play off of each other and grow in an environment that is there for their growth, and not to be, come up here and be Superman for us and fix everything. I'm not against the try in that plan, but I don't get the feeling that is something that Davidson is like primed to do.
I don't think
also be fluid.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't think it would be either under normal circumstances. But again, 5 consecutive games with 1 regulation goal. That calls for a changing of the plans. And look, he didn't blow any smoke. He never said we're going for the playoffs this year. But again, you've got to do something. You can't just sit here and let this stay the way it's staying. Something has to be done out of your ordinary. And again, if it's for a couple games just to get things going, to get guys feeling confident, to get the puck moving around a little better, so be it. Like, you can't just hold tight to your plan regardless of what's happening in the NHL. The NHL is what matters. And frankly, like, this team is in danger of falling into irrelevance. You've got half the city that can't watch the games on TV. You have half the city that's saying, like, well, maybe I'll pay for this app. Oh, the Hawks lost 4-1. All right, it's one more game I didn't have to watch or pay for. Like, there's business parts of this too. And they can't keep losing and losing and losing and losing without losing fan interest. They can't. Like, and Philip says it in the chat. Kyle Davidson is the one after last year that said a season like this again is unacceptable. And guess what? It's a season like this again. It's the same exact thing as last year with a significantly better roster. Allegedly. They have 13 points. That is tied for worst in the National Hockey League with the Nashville Predators.
Well, at least they didn't sign Stamkos, Marchessault, and Brady Shea to get.
They're in dead last in the NHL, tied with Nashville. Nashville, they have 1 more regulation win than Nashville.
Yeah,
it can't happen again. Now what? It's happening.
I know the plan. An ideal scenario is Frank Nazar is call up and stays up, doesn't go back down. But I don't know. Call him up. Maybe he doesn't have to go back down. Maybe he's really good at the NHL level. Who knows? If it's not Nazar, you want to keep him down and let him get the whole season there, fine. I can be on board with that. I know it's what I was half expecting this season. But you just can't keep rolling this same stuff out. You have guys in Rockford.
Yeah, you have
to
make
a move.
Emergency situations call for adjustments to the plan.
Call somebody up to spark something. And if it doesn't work, it's a low risk, high reward type series. If it doesn't work, then you're right back. Nothing's changed. You can only get better with something like that. It's not going to make it worse.
There's no way that, be it Nazar, be it Doc, be it whoever, comes up here and makes the team worse. There's just not. It's not. And we would all love for this season to have gone the way we thought it was going to go. the three of us made our season predictions, and I think we all picked the Hawks to finish somewhere in the 80-point range.
We were in the mid to
70s.
We were in the mid
70s,
to upper
80s,
70s. I mean,
right? Yeah.
we were all around 75 to 77, whatever it was. But and they still could get there. They're going to need a couple hot streaks there. 6 of their next 9 games are at home.
Nice.
There are some tough teams coming to town. The Panthers are coming.
You want to know the Blackhawks pace this year? 59 points.
It's an improvement.
It's an improvement, yes.
I still think they can get to 70 points this year, just for the fact that you're getting in the goaltending, and at some point, Bedard's going to start scoring goals again, to where maybe you win 4 out of 6, you win 3 in a row. I still think they can get to 70 or more points this season. There's still so much hockey left, and we've seen what this team is capable of doing when they play well. You know, we're a week removed from beating the Minnesota Wild. Yeah. We're 10 days. We're 10 days. We're 10 days away, removed from a 3-2 road trip.
Yeah.
You don't go.
Feels like a lifetime ago.
You don't go from winning. You don't go for a 3-2 road trip, and then all of a sudden become the worst team in hockey overnight.
Well, guess what, Greg? They went from a 3-2 road trip to being the worst team in hockey in a week.
For the worst.
I mean, that's the reality.
But my point about that is it's why I'm not like 59 points. No, they're going to have more than that by the end of the year.
52.
Well, you said they're on pace for
59. Yeah.
They'll have more points than that by the end of the year. This team is underachieving. If they play to their ability, if they play to the back of the hockey card, they should be right where we all expected it. They're underachieving.
They are. There's no question about it.
They're not dead last in hockey because they have a roster like last year's team. They're dead last in hockey because they're underachieving and they can't score goals.
Aside from, again, Soderblom, Vlasic, Kaiser, Donato, every other player in red, black, and white is underachieving. And maybe not Connor Murphy.
Mrazek's not underachieving.
Yeah, Mrazek too. Fine. The goalies too.
By the way, Connor Murphy tonight, we were wondering who was going to make up the ice time for Seth Jones. He played 25:04 tonight. You cannot do that every night.
No, that is not a long-term plan.
That is a guy coming into tonight. Connor Murphy averaged 19:31 of ice time. 5.5 more minutes for him. Let's not fall in love with that.
By the way, I will say, we haven't talked about him much this year. I think he's had a pretty good year.
Absolutely.
But he cannot. No. He is a middle pair, 19-minute-a-night guy. Yes. That's what Connor Murphy is.
So that's going to be something to keep tabs on as we go forward without Jones. And there was no update on his timeline after the game.
No.
All Luke says is it's going to be more than the 7-day IR minimum.
All right, we got to get to some super chats here. We got a whole bunch of them. Thank you for sending those. We appreciate it. One final call out. Please hit that like button for us. We'd appreciate that. Connor Del Rio says, Sharks, Flyers, and Ducks can score. Why can't we? It's a good question. And we watch a lot of hockey, the three of us. When Hawks aren't playing, we're probably sitting in front of ESPN Plus and watching whatever game tickles our fancy. No one really looks like the Hawks, where they can't control a puck or complete a pass or sustain his own time, or it just looks broken. It looks broken. I don't know. Yep. Mr. Koala, $10 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, for the first time, I'm starting to worry about Connor. It feels like his time on ice is way down. I can't tell if that's actually the case or if he's just that ineffective. He looks like he's miserable. I agree. He looks like he's miserable. Time on ice, I don't think is down.
No,
if it is a little bit,
it's down 12 seconds a night from last year.
It's a noticeable 12 seconds.
The reason why
they haven't gotten on power plays very often.
The reason why you think it's down is because he never has the damn puck in the offensive zone.
Yeah.
He's top 5 on the team in time on ice.
Yeah,
There's
he hasn't been playing less. He's just playing less ineffective. And
I hosted overnights with him. Less ineffective. Yep.
My favorite
Great
character
stuff.
on WKRP.
And brother Seamus says Hawks looking like old Mike Tyson in Netflix. Well,
Ass.
that was rough.
That's what they're looking like.
That was
Mike
rough.
Tyson's ass.
They look like Mike Tyson in a jockstrap.
All right.
Can we bury that picture for all eternity?
Yeah, we don't need that. That meme can die, please.
That was funny for one time.
Yes.
The other 3,000 times, I'm good.
Nah, I thought it was funny.
All right, let's we got our 4-star winner, Nate. The nominees today, if you missed it, were Lucas Reichel with 3 shots, Nick Foligno with an assist and 3 shots, Ilya Mikheyev with a goal and 2 shots. Who is the winner, Mr. Nate? It is Lucas Reichel. Good game.
Ooh, throwback.
Fourth line was
Old number
solid.
27.
That's a cool picture, but that's the wrong number.
That's last year.
That's the retro.
That's fine. Yeah, that's
Retro version.
Throwback.
Throwback Reichel.
But that is a cool picture.
I like the ice. That's all.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a cool
kinda
look. That was good.
We
Congrats, Lucas Reichel.
We can Photoshop the 73 on it.
And who's your Hawk?
They all suck.
Everybody sucks.
No one gets it.
There we go. Look
Everybody
at that.
sucks.
You and Mario tied at 0.5.
Woohoo!
And Connor Bedard had negative 0.5.
I get the change with them winning, right?
Sure.
All right, sweet.
Sure.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You earned it.
Glorious.
You earned it. Yeah. Stinky.
That sucks. That is the worst.
Guess who I'm not picking first on Tuesday?
Connor Bedard?
Yes. I'm done picking him until he does something.
He's going to break out of his slump on
I'm
Tuesday.
telling you, when
nobody pick him. Let's agree to that right now.
Ooh, that could
nobody
be it.
pick him.
All right.
He's getting healthy
Gentleman's agreement.
scratch from
Yes.
Hoosier Hawk.
We're healthy scratching Connor Bedard. We're benching him. Nobody pick him on Tuesday. Let's see what happens.
Done. Deal.
That's good.
I will sacrifice Who's Your Hawk for a Connor Bedard goal.
Me too.
Yeah, I would too.
All right.
Plus, I have a substantial lead. Before we wrap things up, thanks for being with us this late. First of all, Monday at 2:30, the one Blackhawk you're not mad at, Alex Vlasic, will be in this studio with us. Do not miss it. Let's give him a nice welcome. Let's make sure everybody's here. Let's make sure everyone's smashing that like button and subscribing and everything to let Alex know that he is beloved. He's a local boy, but he's been great. That's like the one guy that even tonight we're like, well, it wasn't his best game, but he was still one of the better Hawks in the entire game today.
Right, because we actually have standards for him.
Right. We have better expectations for him.
Can't say that about some of the other guys on this team right now.
2:30 Monday, Alex Vlasic will be here right in this studio, and we hope many, many, many more to come as the season goes on. So please make sure you are here for that and show him a nice turnout and a warm welcome.
And we're going to have an Ice Hog player on Wednesday. Don't know which one yet.
Ice Hawks player for now.
Yeah, maybe he'll be a Blackhawk by then. I don't know. We're going to have a Ice Hogs player Wednesday. Going to have some more going forward. We're going to try and get either Anders Sorensen, the head coach, or one of their players on at least once a week.
That'd
we'll
be
work
awesome.
on that. So more Ice Hogs.
Firm
stuff to
things
talk
up
about.
and get Anders on.
Yes,
Like that guy.
he was going to come on Monday, and then I forgot that Vlasic was going to be
Yeah.
here. So
They could drop in and surprise him.
he got the Matt Damon treatment.
Matt Damon. All right. Hey, everybody, do us a favor. If you've not already done it, become a diehard at allchgo.com. Why? Well, you can get a sweet CHGO shirt or hat when you sign up, or $35 off a hoodie like the one Mario's wearing. You get 20% off all of our merch across all networks of the ALLCITY network, 20% off our events, our takeovers. We got a really special takeover we'll be announcing very, very soon, something we've never done before that you're going to want to know about. So stay tuned for that. It will be very, very sweet.
It's going to be really
Very sweet.
cool.
Very sweet. So make sure, become a diehard now, so when that event comes around, you get to save 20% on it. You also get access to our members-only Discord page. That gives you first priority on our mailbag shows, and you get to interact with us, which is great fun. So please become a diehard. You also get Blackhawks Beat, Rebuild Report, Pigs and Puck, Morning Chirps, all kinds of exclusive written content.
The most prolific beat in the history of CHGO.
Exactly right. That's it. Look, see, people in the chat are starting to figure it out.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, look at that. So yeah, allchgo.com is the place to go. So please become a diehard. We'd love you forever. And we love you anyway for being here. We do appreciate you staying up late with us on this Saturday night, Sunday morning. We'll talk to you Monday at 2:30 with Alex Vlasic right here on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.